belts, whether it be the rust belt, the stroke belt, the kidney stone belt. I've learned a lot about belts recently. In particular, the Bible Belt, a place where I've spent my entire life. So you would think that living in a place nicknamed the Bible Belt, that I would know so much about the gospel. I would know so much about Jesus. I would know so much. I would have this incredible knowledge. I grew up. I've lived my entire life in the Bible Belt. And yet, I only knew traditions. What man taught man. My limited knowledge. I'm telling you, my knowledge was limited. Oh, I tell you what, it wasn't until a missionary from a foreign land, a fiddle-playing gypsy, danced into the southeast from Romania and explained the true message of the gospel. A missionary with his busted English, a foreigner to the land that I'd spent my entire life living in, explained the gospel to me. The good news. That the gospel was good news. And that everything that Christ accomplished on the cross. You see, he simply took God out of the box for me. Because for me, God was in a box, and you took him out for a little while on Sunday morning and you talked about him, and that was it. Well, I'm here to tell you, the water was added to the oatmeal. It ain't going back in the container. It's not happening. I lived my entire life in the Bible Belt, and as I've learned recently, a belt, like the Rust Belt. We don't buy our cars from the Rust Belt because we know better, because they'll just disappear in front of you. But a belt, by definition, is a piece of strong fabric or a leather strap worn about the waist or the chest. It girds your clothing, tightens up your clothing. You can hang tools off of it or weapons. That's the definition of a belt. If a belt is worn too tightly, it can cause all kinds of medical issues. It will slow down or even cease the operation of your internal organs. Do you hear what I'm saying? Your flow can be slowed or stopped. You can become backed up. And I'm here to tell you, I was severely backed up and had no idea of it. But it wasn't until my mindset was removed and altered, I experienced metanoia. I understood the good news of the gospel and what it was about. I had a very cleansing experience, I'm here to say. No longer backed up, but freely flowing. Was set free. The shackles, the belts were removed. It's amazing. The truth, the good news of the gospel. God is outside of the box. I've had the pleasure of experiencing many wonderful things. You see, when God is out of the box and you really go, all right, you're real, show me. You know, like that great moment in the Christine movie? The kid with the car was like, all right, show me. Just amazing and wonderful things will begin to happen. Not from any striving or effort on your part. But like one example for me, I'll never forget it. I had an opportunity to spend a month in California, and we were hanging out. There must have been about 20 of us at a house get together one evening, a study, and Ben showed up and he was like, we need to do a baptism service. And we're like, okay. And he broke out jars of honey. And I mean, this is different, but was a lot of fun. So everybody had honey just poured over them. Everybody was covered. They were bathed in honey. It was phenomenal. What an experience. But what was awesome was there was about 4 people there, and as I was watching them, because we're all covered with honey, this is just crazy, there was about 4 individuals there, and the honey transformed into straight up milk. It turned white as white can be and just ran off of them and pooled up. Pooled, understand? Milk was everywhere. And you may ask, well, how do you know it was milk? You know, honey melts and runs off. I was like, well, look, I've seen honey melt. You know, I've seen it in the microwave. I've seen it hot. It just gets glazy. And let's just say there's a few people there that confirmed it was milk, because everybody knows what milk tastes like. All right, you with me? All right. So when you realize God's out of the box, you will be privy to all kinds of amazing things. Whether it's gold dust showing up, or diamonds or rubies that show up and disappear, or feathers fall from the ceiling. I mean, these are not things that we worship, and these are not things we go to church for, but occasionally they do manifest. God's out of the box. There are no limitations on what He can do. He can do whatever He wants. He can move however He pleases. Depending on what circumstances there are, anything is possible. You know, He's free to move, to come and go. And it's just best to go, yep, Lord, you're out of the box, so whatever you want to do, good with me. And that's how I live my life now. I'm free. I am so mentally free. You know, even though Paul was in prison, he was free. Wrote some of the best parts of the New Testament while he was in prison. You see, if you're mentally free, you are free indeed. Free indeed. You get it? God's out of the box. The belt has been removed. Alright, I think that's about all I got for right now. Man, I'll tell you what, this is good stuff. Just remember, take the belt off. You're free. Or at least really loosen it up. Tight belt, religious belt, not good. Okay. Thanks a lot. Bye.